Hey folks. Uh Past few weeks, I guess. I This is like real late March and early April, first half of April stuff I got. So firstly, used stuff. Sorry guys. I'm like trying to go fast cuz I got to sleep and go to work early tomorrow. So I'm running out of time here, man. But try to read a bunch anyway. Got a bunch. So used stuff and then a lot of new releases. Talk about those. I want to like hurry, but I want to be like I want to take time talking to you. So let's begin. Let's try this steadier cam today. Not quite as steady, but steadier. Let me know if how you guys feel if I should be doing the shaky cam or not. Damn, when I put my hands on the desk, it moves. Anyhow, um, first up, this batch of used stuff that I got for, on average, about like $2.60 ish, which is like I always want to pay like $1 or $2. I realize, but Alien Legion Volume 1, number 10. I was getting really into that, man. This is one I'm missing from like the first 20. So I had left off at issue 9. When you get to, is it this dude? No, the other guy. Grim, what's his name? Shit, it's been like a month or two, but it's getting real good. So I want to catch up on these. Yeah. And then number 20. So I have the first maybe like 21 now. That sounds logical. He wasn't the guy who said that, but Baby Huey from like those Woody Woodpecker cartoons, pretty fun stuff. Baby Huey number 2. This had a Keith cover. Batman, R.I.P. Sam Keith will be missed. Batman number 660. Chuck Dixon and Jim Ballant. Shout out Raza, she was saying that these are actually, and I didn't know how to articulate it because, you know, with the Hellboy stuff, I'm not like all about every Hellboy release, but BPRD, it read really good. This one, War on Frogs, is actually a double. I didn't realize. This is the one that I'd read before, and I was like, hey, this reads good. And she was right. She articulated it maybe better than me, that saying that it kind of reads like good classic, like early Hellboy, where it's kind of like that kind of vibe. Like it's not as over the top as some of the other Hellboy, which is, it seems a little more like lighthearted, that of the like later Hellboy stuff, but this seems real good. So if you have recommends on what to read for BPRD, I would. There's so much, I just don't know where to start. There's going to be a bunch of used ones that are like on sale that I could trade for or pay like half for, but even that, like, it's not just the money, it's more like the space. I don't know what I would do. So maybe I should like try to tackle them digitally first, but this was good. This BPRD Warren Frogs number 1. John Arcudi and Herb Trimpe and Guy Davis. This was awesome. Doorway to Nightmare, some Kaluta maybe on the cover here. I have a bunch of these. This is like early Madame Xanadu, but don't know if I had this one, number 4. Ghosts, number 100. Always got to get the bronze horror. Some more Haunted Tank, GI Combat, number 168. This is so beat. This cover is like demolished, man. I think about like, maybe I'll just put some kind of tape on this. I don't care about CGC or anything. Let me be that little kid and just use some kind of tape. But what would be good tape that could be removed later? There's some kind of like archival tape that almost, it seems like it almost uses more like static electricity rather than glue type adhesive. That would be good. I don't know what kind of tape that is, so it's more like, it's kind of gray, right? But that would be the one. I will be that little jerk that might do that. I don't know what this is. I just saw that it had like a cool kind of Soviet propaganda poster look. Green Lantern Corps number 208. This is like Joe Staton, and I forget who the writer was on here too, but might be interesting. Hate number 20. Might be a double. Probably a double, but at this point, if I see Hate and it's not too expensive, I should just get that double. Swamp Thing number 15, some Nestor Redondo. I think this was like $4. Took the price of it overall up. There's some cool looking art in here though. I was actually at a con the other day and the guy was saying that this is his favorite Swamp Thing artist. Like more than Wrightson even. Detached centerfold, killing me here. This is beat. It's probably like, I would call it like a good then because of that detached centerfold, but maybe it's better. Anyway, this is some nice art here. That's what I wanted to maybe get to. Nice double lighting and anatomy and dynamism there. Okay, moving on. I wasn't able to find number 1, and I pieced these together from different piles lying around in all kinds of different areas of the shop. Numbers 2 to 6 of Swamp Thing. I never knew about this series. Len Wein and Kelly Jones. That should be a good team. So that's number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. I guess I have this bookmarked maybe to check through. Oh shit, there's some Deadman there. Nice. I guess that's why. Yeah, new Deadman series coming out. I didn't even really check who's working on it, but I'll be gotta check that out for sure. Swamp Thing number 6. Got Deadman on the brain now. Some Kubert Tarzan. This is Tarzan number 210. Holy crap. It's really up there. This must be all from the same batch. They're pretty beat. Oh shit, you know what? In that store, when I was there was a deal that I saw in the raw, man, not even bagged and boarded, piles of old Fantastic Four along with the first Silver Surfer, and that was cool to see. Somebody bring it in to sell there, and he bought them, and like right after the other guy in the shop bought him off of him. That was cool though. They're kind of like considered mid-grade, if you will. I think it was like it seemed like a decent price, decent deal for everybody involved. So it was cool to see that in the flesh. I think the only thing wrong with it was like chipping on the back and rusty staples, but I mean, if the grade is going to be down, those are the reasons you want the grade to be down, I think. Okay, UFO in Outer Space. These kind of read like that old TV show In Search Of, or maybe Unsolved Mysteries, but less scary. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Unexpected, number 212, another Kaluta cover. I always get Bronze Age horror though, not just for the covers. The interiors are fun too. Shutter, number 14. Haven't read this yet because it's a Christmas issue. I'll wait till Christmas or something to read it. Getting into Phantom X a little bit. These miniseries, this works out to $2 an issue, I think, for 1 to 4, the complete series. I saw that it's from Max, so I thought maybe it'll be awesome. And these covers look awesome. Let's take a quick look, maybe. Let's see number 2 here too. Say the guy I got this like retro. I guess Phantom X is kind of based on Danger Diabolic, right? Italian kind of spy thief stuff. But sadly, okay, these are Francavilla, the covers, right? I'm like, hey, that style looks good, but I guess the interiors are not the same. I'm not sure if I dig this, but I'll give it a try. He just got this in too, Taskmaster 1 to 4. I've told you, I swear to you, I promise you, I tried to tell everybody this is wicked, but I haven't been able to sell it to anybody so far. But yeah, these are real groovy, man. These are fun as hell. Let me show you quickly. Even okay, here's a cover for number 3. You might not have seen that before. I don't know who did that. Pretty good though. But number 1, there's just lots of stuff going on throughout the whole thing, and a fight against Iron Man in the first issue too. Who do you think's gonna win? Some good stuff, good cartooning, good everything in these. And lastly, from the new stuff, this half-price trade paperback of Moonshine Volume 1. I saw it was Azzarello and Risso, and they were the team on that. I was talking about that Western Blood Brothers Mother. So maybe check it out. This is only $5, half the US cover price. So that's worth a try, I figure. Okay, on to new stuff now. You know what? Before we talk about new stuff, here's something that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for a while. And this is something that could trigger people, or like every time I talk to somebody about this, they get real pissed off. Probably because psychologically or whatever, we're invested like the into how we do things. I promise you, man, I swear to you, I see new comics all the time put in with the glossy side of the board creating foxing. And I swear to you that I see other comic collections where the matte side of the board is facing the comic, and there's no like rub off from the covers like at all, even after years of like being stacked in piles like up and down like this, right? So I want to ask you, I put my like ever there used to be a comic shop here. It was my favorite comic shop actually, but I was like, why is he doing it that the matte side of the board is facing the comic? It pisses me off. But there was never any like foxing or like cover rub off on the matte side. So I'm really thinking, man, I put my shit with the matte side facing the comic now. I've been doing that for years, and it doesn't seem like I have any issues. But it's a very controversial subject that like it'll piss people off, because I mean, even some people, they put the glossy side to the comic, they write details, the grade, some notes and stuff maybe on the back of the board. Nobody wants to think I have to reboard all my shit. Maybe that's why. But yeah, let me know what your findings are. This is like, for scientific purposes, this is very, very important that we figure this out. Okay, but yeah, I put that question to you, good people. Let's go to the new releases now, without further ado. All right, first up, Super Creep Show with the Todd Father homage cover. There are a lot of homage covers coming out right now, and like some of them are like I like when they're done well. I guess I was talking to homie, and when it comes to like variants, I don't, or like yeah, when it comes to variants or whatever, or covers, that like it could be almost like a recipe where it's like, I like all those ingredients, I like that character, I like that artist, but I limit myself to like if it has a certain je ne sais quoi, if it has a certain like magical or an element of where you're like, it makes you, maybe it's indescribable, or like if I put it, say if it was a recipe, the secret ingredient is love. Like, it's not all the time that an artist and character or whatever are gonna be hitting. But anyway, Super Creep Show. This was pretty fun actually. I try to read these anthologies without paying attention to like who the creators are, firstly, because I know there's a lot of like baggage. A lot of people say like certain artists or writers or shitheads, or they've done this and that on social media, or they have a certain history of like ruining runs or whatever. But this, anyway, I don't know anything about this guy. I've just heard that he's not the greatest, but I read this beforehand, and this was fun. This first story, it's kind of like a psychic or telekinetic, almost like a male Jean Grey, but he's got a big pot belly. But he's one of the most powerful heroes, and it turns out that it's like a parasitic twin. It's and he's so like disgusting looking, and he's pretty funny, the banter between them and stuff. He has some pretty good personality, so I did like this one. Maybe a keeper, this one, because of that. Who knows though? I always like to reread them, revisit, to evaluate years down later. The second one is like a kind of vampire story. It was alright, but the art is probably the stronger factor. The writing is fine, kind of like average fare for a kind of like indie-ish horror anthology, I'd say. But yeah, pretty good art. Okay, moving on. Daredevil #1. This is one of the only copies that was left in the store. I had actually ordered it before, but they like sold out. I don't know, there was a mix-up where some other cunt like bought a fucking 100 blind bags or something, and they got mine. Not that I want to play the blind bag game, but I was just like, I'm not really too partial to any Daredevil cover out of all of them, so I was like, just give me one blind bag, I'll just get what I get. But no, they were all gone. They were under ordered. Not that I care, I just wanted to read it, and yeah, I kind of liked it. Pardon me, guys. One thing in that Daredevil, you kind of want these like good anatomy, good dynamic, acrobatic command of anatomy and action, I'd say. And it looks like the artist is kind of having that. Some people are saying there's a bit of like a lackluster number one, that not enough went on, but to me, I think it did. It's kind of hard when it comes to pacing. Like maybe this paced kind of like a 90s or early 2000s kind of comic where quite a bit does happen, enough I'd say, in the one issue for number one, but it's not like as much as would happen in like a Silver or Bronze Age comic probably, but it's not as decompressed a lot as the more modern stuff. There's kind of enough going on. This, yeah, I like his design too in his civvies, that it's kind of brown and like red in his glasses and his shirts. As a side note, that's pretty good. This other like teacher at the university, there's some good tension between them. I like his thought balloons. Like she's kind of giving them, they're kind of giving each other a hard time, but flirting maybe at the same time. So kudos to Stephanie Phillips on that, being able to do that pretty well. Like you'd almost think that she doesn't like him, but I like Matt's speech thought bubbles is like, yeah, she wants to do me. Pretty good. It's good to have like a single hetero protagonist out there, able to rep hard, and like, you know, he gets his, man. His not rookie numbers with Matt Murdock. So some good stuff going on there in his personal life. You want a balance of the personal and Daredevil life. You don't want too much of the personal in these comics, right? There's a serial killer going on. These guys seem pretty good. This police is kind of like for forensic detective maybe, or profiler. Also, I want to say this, they're like, okay, we got to look through all the subway cars for the eyes, missing eyes of this victim. And this, I don't know, would it be like a forensic pathologist or something? I forget what the fuck it would be called, but, you know, hunting serial killers or homicide detective. And he's like, our killer took souvenirs. And then the next panel is this cup with like 2 white sugar cubes in it and some like liquid there. I mean, is that meant to blatantly be transition, like kind of like the eyeballs? It'll like hit you in the feels. I don't know if it would be, but I think it is like subtle, pretty clever storytelling there. Some people might think, oh, that's too hacky, but no, I think that's pretty good actually. Stephanie Phillips is showing more strength than I thought she might have had with that She-Hulk series. Like, to me, this was like perfectly fine, perfectly good. Like, I actually got this thinking like I probably won't want to get issue 2, but after reading it, I do want to see about issue 2. But on the other hand, it's kind of like all these things will be, yeah, I just finished watching a Pop Comics video. They were talking about like all these things. Like I used to have the same feeling as like all these things, you could probably just find them in bargain bins later, years later, if you don't mind waiting and putting it together that way. This new villain or hero or whatever he is, he seems pretty interesting and cool. I don't know if there's a name for him yet, but he seems pretty good. Yeah, I realize though that like I kind of get these stuff even just to hang out and talk with you guys, honestly, like as well as feeling like, oh, I better support the comic industry, maybe it'll collapse if not. But I mean, it doesn't need me necessarily to keep to fail or succeed either way. But it's fun to talk to you guys about this stuff. Okay, another hipster, or like one that they're talking about, Estuary number 1. This is the Vanessa Del Rey cover or whatever. I don't know. This one was all right, man. I like the cartooning or art, if you'd call it not cartooning, probably you'd call it art. Pretty good mood, good colors, good pacing and storytelling. For instance, let's see here. Like, say this, you have like these little transitions of time. There's these kind of like really quiet, long moments that it's kind of like a slow burn maybe, but you see the passage of time between panels, establishing things. So depending on your like attention, you might like it or not. The banter between these two is not too bad. They're kind of flirting and but saying like we're gonna keep it professional until the job's done because we just want to like not be distracted by anything. So that's some kind of good story tension, I guess. There's some good spooky moments too. I like this kind of cartooning here, showing the depth and the like. You kind of get the sense of quiet, but like this kind of handprint, it's good. Like the subtle horror. Sometimes it reminds me of like those, you know, the Japanese kind of horror movies where like it just kind of amps up. It kind of like doesn't blow its load right away. Like you kind of get something subtle of like, oh, that could be there could be an explanation for that like handprint in the fog on a window, like, or maybe say this part here where she's like looking up, like it almost looks like some weird thing like looking down on her through the water there, through the depths. But maybe it's just, you know, maybe it's just her imagination or something, or maybe it just looks like that. So that's pretty creative. I like that. So might check these out. Maybe it's smarter to wait for the trade, but again, it's fun to have something to talk about with you guys, to be honest. And it's not like I really pay for like other forms of entertainment very much. We kind of get into this. I know a lot of people got into this kind of thing to not like go out partying all the time, as like you don't spend hundreds of bucks going out. You kind of like do this instead, or whatever. Ghost Machine official guidebook. Checking these out. Really stellar art in these. This guy looks cool. This does make me want. I like guidebooks or source books or whatever. This does make me want to check out more of the Ghost Machine universe. Yeah, this art is tight. Geiger. It looks like a lot of the Geiger stuff is. Maybe I'd be into it. I guess there's a lot of these characters. I'm like, I didn't expect this universe to be so big. This is good character design. You gotta give it that. But I didn't, I just had the first issue of Geiger before, but I didn't stay on board. But maybe I'll check it out more. G.I. Joe number 20. This was a cool issue. I guess this is some of the mask guys. More of like a, kind of more like a slow, subdued issue though. You ever read like fantasy series where two leaders of like two different armies will like have a meeting together, like away from their armies and teams, and you're like, this is good. These are like the fucking, you get to see and hang out with like the biggest baddest ass motherfuckers, and like they're kind of, you know, they're not on the same team. They're kind of feeling each other out. Don't know if they're enemies, but the way they carry themselves and stuff as like leaders and classy dudes is pretty good banter. Nice cartooning too, even on the non-G.I. Joe characters. Okay, and that was number 20. Get to number 21 now. A new silent issue, kind of commemorating the old original G.I. Joe 21 with the first appearance of Storm Shadow, I think, in this universe, in this Energon universe. It's not quite silent. Like, there are a couple pages with text on them. At the Urshikage Ninja camp or temple, the Joes and Cobra get there at the same time, going for this like Energon sword. Yeah, I guess I was expecting a little more, though, to be honest, or expecting it to be, I guess it's pretty epic, but if you're, depending. You can see that they're going to be emotionally charged. They've got motivation. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I was expecting a little more of that. It's still good, though, but I don't know what I was expecting necessarily. Just, I thought it would be, like, crazy. It's not really crazy. It's still pretty good, though. G.I. Joe Silent Missions Baroness. This is the first of these. There's been, like, 3 now, because they're coming out once a week. 1 per week. Is this the Joelle Jones cover? I gotta say, though, man, there was, like, these covers are not sexy. Only like retailer exclusive ones are, but there's one I might try to go for, that Diaz one that everybody's trying to go for, but only if this issue was like cooler. It kind of like, it's pretty cool, mainly the art, but I mean, when I finished it, I was like, what happened? I don't get it. But I think maybe there's like less to try and get, like not not necessarily like there's anything deeper. But maybe I'm an idiot. I was thinking of that joke. Your boyfriend Google's title of movie plus ending explained every time he finishes watching a movie. But because I'm like, what? But then I asked the owner of the shop, I'm like, did you read this? What do you think happened at the end? And he's like, oh, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. All right. Okay. This Crimson Guard one was a little cooler. The second from the series. The art's cool too. Nice and dark, almost like demonic in the Cobra hideout. This one's pretty groovy. It kind of reminds me of... Pardon me, I can't really pause this. You ever see that old Aeon Flux episode War, where it's kind of like told from the just like foot soldier, pawn kind of soldier's point of view? With this Crimson Guard, wouldn't they be like the elite kind of guard, almost like the Imperial or Red Guard in Star Wars or some shit? But I get that. I'm not super familiar with G.I. Joe stuff, but I get that impression that they're kind of like the elite soldiers, maybe. Yeah, that old cartoon War of Aeon Flux, that one's sick. Give me vibes similar to that. Pretty good. Pretty decent. And the latest one is this Zartan one. This just came out though, I haven't read it yet. Okay, let's get to one that's gonna be fun as shit to talk about, because this was the shit, man. This is like one of the picks of the month. The Hab, number 1. That's the cover B. This is the cover C, I think. By Joshua Dysart, David Lapham, Bill Sienkiewicz, and Jacob Phillips. So those names, that's kind of like almost like a super band, like the new Yardbirds. Definitely not as disappointing as like the ex-GNR and Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots crud. This is tight, man. This is like like Alien or Ex Machina or what's the fucking Moon, where it's like a high budget, like intelligent, sharp, taut, like tight indie sci-fi horror. Like you get the subtle, some of the good things are like it's not fully exposited. You can see that some of them are like really distraught when they arrived at this like underground bunker to survive an apocalypse. Kind of, it's built to like survive, the end of the world. And you could just tell by the looks on their faces, like this little girl, when she's like finishes her tour and sees her quarters, she just blasts this like kind of punk music or whatever. Oh yeah, the computer is saying, would you like to listen to music, read a book, or watch a video? Would you like to see some of your photo albums? And she says, play Kylie Genesis. I guess it's this kind of like doom stuff, and she's just kind of bawling, like crying silently. So you're kind of, I like that that you're kind of taught, the show not tell. Like you're like, something's wrong here. Why are these people like fucking, like when another character like runs into this tech or is like wanting to check out a part, the technician is just like crying her eyes out while she was like doing her job by herself. This cutaway here too, I love these kind of diagrams where they're showing like the different parts of the structure. These are always great. You gotta love these, man. This fucking rocks. Like there were a couple pages where, the scene changed or ended and I'd be like, let's fucking go. Cause some of those like good horror or sci-fi movies, when a scene ends, you're like, whoa, like your heart drops or something, or it goes in your throat. You're like, what the fuck? Like what's happened? And it's done well, man. this part too. There's some good characterization where it's only a few pages in. So she's the daughter of like the genius who built this place, and she's has like prescribed by the, I guess the doctor, I think, of this place, like some Xannies on advice of her father. And he's like, kind of, it's just hinted at like, we've all had like a very hard, very long day. So, you know, that's kind of hint that, you know, spoilers, the fucking world has ended outside of this bunker. Yeah, and like this, I think this is the stepmother. She's like, I'm really against you taking this. And she's like, you're not my mom. And she's like, no, but I do care about you. You know, there's some good stuff here. I'm already invested, you know, it's just well done. She's on this like simulation of a beach, just fucking chopping up the Zanny to do rails of it. In this simulation. It's good as shit, man. And the horror is like fucking horrific. They have like impact. And the violence, the horrific violence, is creative. Like it's new kind of shit. This part where this nice panel designed too from the plasma, this worker, they're trying to get through this vault. Like, you know, it's of course one of the craziest vaults ever, using a plasma cutter. And shit starts to go wrong, man. People are kind of like losing their minds down here, and he takes it to his own face here too, and it's like using that for like the panels. That's crazy. I'm having to like shovel it up. This one fucking dead guy's melted face, just cleaning it up with a fucking shovel. I don't want to spoil too much. That's not halfway in yet, but I think it's pretty cool too that this must be more than 22 pages, certainly. Maybe there's like 40 something. That might be a better way to have issue ones. Like maybe that Daredevil one would have been more hard hitting, or more, there'd be able to be more faith invested in it from us consumers if it was a little bit bigger. Because I think it's like, say that was like pretty good, but I feel safer betting on the Hab here. Okay, another new one is this facsimile edition of Hate #1. Just kind of getting these, and why not hoard them? I do have like the original, but pledge my allegiance. I'll pay some tithe to the Church of Fantagraphics for sure. I haven't read this one yet, but Horror Anthology Hello Darkness. This is number, what, 20, or is it? Yeah, number 20 now. Because I'm missing number 19, goddammit. I read a couple of these, though, I think. But something I realize is, like, Jenny Friesen is dope as hell at doing this horror stuff, as well as pretty stuff. But, like, the colors and things, I guess what really I like about it, there's kind of a similarity to that kind of Mike Kaluta style line work, too. Sorry, where it's, like, kind of, like, varied. And, would it be, like, I guess it would be a nib pen if it wasn't digital. Oh yeah, this one's pretty groovy. Kind of just about going into the forest here. This one's kind of like body dysmorphia. Another hit of that cover. Fuck, that rules, man. And it's not like grotesque, it's almost like kind of pretty. You know, the anatomy and stuff, it's all like kind of pretty, but given a horror twist. That's kind of like a good thing about horror. I'm kind of liking that these don't have like a really set in stone like moral at the end of the story. It's kind of just more like the end is like, I wonder what I think about that. Not that they don't seem like really deep or anything, but I think that's probably a better way for these for horror stories or whatever to be told a lot of the time. Like, what I was getting turned off on a lot of these anthologies and the EC ones was it was kind of like they want to be like morality tales, and that shit is like, what do you think we are, kids, man? We don't need that crap. Okay, I want number 19 because I do want to read this like manga like paranormal baseball team shit, but I'm missing number part 2 or 3 of the stories, so I'm gonna wait. I didn't read that one yet. Believe it or not, I do want to read that. Okay, Kilroy is here. Had to check this out because of the Ballin cover. But I guess it's kind of like it didn't do a lot for me. I guess there's like a war between demons and angels, that kind of 90s thing. And this seems more like to be saying like this series might start. Like not only like Kilroy, he's back. It seems kind of more like a prelude for you to be like, it seems more like for people of the past that were into this, maybe, to get excited that this will be coming back. So me as a new reader, new to this, I was like, yeah, whatever. It kind of seemed like that 90s kind of a common thing of just like there's a war between angels and demons or something, and like, yeah. Which is it can be alright, but not a big deal for me. Maybe it'll be better later, but it didn't really make me want to keep following it. Night City number 3, The Conclusion by Matt Kent and Dave Lapham. This was fun. This made me feel like that guy being like, maybe I need to Google ending explained, because a pretty cool conclusion. I like that there's only 3 parts, and it's interesting. I did like this series. Talked more about the first 2. You don't really need me to talk more about the ending, because it's just the ending and like it's, you don't want it to be me to talk about it. You want it to stay like pretty unpredictable, which it was to the very end there. Liked it. It'll be a keeper. Ordained Special, The Machine. This was pretty fun. This guy seemed pretty cool. I did like this more than Ordained issue number 1. Yeah, it's pretty tight, pretty smart. Just this kind of genre. Badass dudes that you didn't know. They're gonna fucking kill people with their bare hands. And be kind of witty about it the whole time. This was a fun time. I wasn't into like Ordained, because issue 1, I say the fight choreography was not that great, but that's what you want in any kind of like John Wick or martial arts thing. You don't want it to just be like posing and stuff. You want there to be good action choreography, I'd say. So this one did have that. And some cool kind of like nuggets of like maybe philosophy or thought, rather than just story and exposition and stuff. I like that when you could tell at least the writer had something. What was Philip K. Dick talking about? There was one interview where he was talking about like a writer's, it's almost like they keep like a woman's purse just full of like weird random junk around in their mind, like ideas written on scraps of paper or matchbooks or in fucking lipstick, even if you need on a goddamn napkin, just whatever. So, and then you kind of like use those nuggets of just like some kind of thought or revelation or like a cool line and like integrate it into a story or something. That might have been some of it. So yeah, pretty fun. It makes me want to like check out more of the Ordained stuff, maybe even. Okay, about halfway through the releases. There's a lot. Okay, more of the Bad Idea. This is like a preview, almost like an ash can. What is this? $1.99, I think. This was just in my slot, and I'm kind of glad. So maybe this has like first. I should just be checking out Bad Idea stuff. Like after reading the Hab, I was like, that was so fucking tight that I'm like, I want to. This maybe is this kind of like Godzilla type thing though, this megalith thing. But I'm imagining maybe it goes further than just that kind of giant monster kaiju thing. Maybe it has some. It looks almost like it gets into like some cosmic horror or something, which could be interesting. So the Hab in this little thing is like not in issue 1. This is more like a preview or like prologue story that doesn't exist in the series itself, I guess. Maybe it would be in a trade. This one has more of the Sienkiewicz art, though, it seems. Like it looks like he might have done the inking. This takes place before the issue 1, it would seem. Like early on in the building of it, and like they see that the team building it is kind of like, it seems like they've lost their minds and like become like a weird cult. That's a nice spooky Sienkiewicz inked looking panel there. I liked it, man. This makes me want to check out more. Or like I was so stoked after reading The Hab, and I saw this too, this ad for a new Tony Millionaire series that Bad Idea is putting out. And fuck, I love Tony Millionaire. It's so hard to find, but like seeing this quote here too, he says, "I want it to be epic, a classic, my masterpiece, comics as fine art." Fuck. Like he's trying to make it the best thing he's ever done. That's what it sounds like, possibly. So I gotta check this out, man. I think I only ordered like one copy, but maybe I should get the fever. Just ordered more. A new Tankers series coming out here too. Preview for that. I only have one issue of Tankers, and it was pretty good though. Surprisingly good. This art looks pretty good too. This Project Goat. I guess it's kind of like manga looking. All right, continuing. Now for something completely different. Poison Ivy number 43. This is just a cover by. Because sometimes I get these covers when I think they're especially good. This Kyung Yam one. None of his chicks skip leg day, do they? But there's one where you could just see the layers, like the anatomy and building on to like the plant life, the hair. It's just crazy. This is one of those things like I was saying with variant covers, I kind of want it to be something special, something that you can like not just glance at and be like, that's beautiful, just something that you can actually just stare at for a little while longer than the norm. I'm digging this guy. Got an extra copy too because I was like, Maybe I'll hoard some covers sometimes. Psylocke Ninja number 3 and number 4. I finally got around to reading number 1, and actually I kind of dug it, so I'm gonna try to put these together. I'm missing number 2 though. I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where, do I need to? I'm like, probably when it's all said and done, if it's a 4 or 5 issue series now, it's like $20 or $25, right? Which again is like, depending on your entertainment budget. I don't really have a lot of like streaming services or any of that stuff. Like everybody has something for their entertainment. But it reminds me of, this stuff reminds me of like being able to talk with you guys. I mean, it reminds me of like getting to streaming services again. Nobody's really watching the same thing as each other. Like back in the day, I remember on TV coming to school the next day after like a Simpsons episode and being able to talk about it with your friends and be excited. Or like when It was on TV, that Stephen King's It was like, holy shit, did you see that? Talk about that to your friends, or The Stand, or fucking Ivanhoe. Like those were great times. It's fun to like have something coming out around the same time that we're like on the same page about. Otherwise we're kind of mutating off into different directions, which isn't bad, but I noticed that you kind of get more, you feel more like say with feeds or whatever, I'm like, man, me and my friends, we're all into completely different stuff nowadays. And like if it was like YouTube or something, there's no way like other people would be able to watch my YouTube recommends or anything. Anyway, so that's why I kind of like this, I guess. Regardless, here's another really nice cover, this Derek Chu one. And I don't really want to be a cover by guy because that's a whole other can of worms. I'm thinking this is like a little more than the norm amount of work that he put in on this one. It's just kind of nice. It just kind of hits, with the je ne sais quoi, as I was saying. The series is Sirens Love Hurts number 3. And I'll be upfront. I haven't read this one yet. I was reading the others and being like, yeah, it's kind of okay, but I'm like, yeah, it's not a high priority anymore. It's fine. You kind of just get it for like the art. I don't like the character design of Green Arrow so much in this. It's like a little too, it's not for me. But the babes and everything and all the faces and expressions look pretty good, pretty mangafied, decent, even in like an Amera manga sense, like better than the norm. Is that for you? Looking pretty good there. There's some like little hot bits too. I guess that's the reason why too. Like say that's pretty good. There's some steamy scenes in each issue a little bit. For the male gaze. or the shemale lesbos or whatever you have. Sorry guys, I'm just talking shit because gotta pass the time. Okay, Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant, #1. I haven't read this yet. I just got it because I was like, every time I'm in there since it came out, I'm like, I like that cover, man. Again, and it's enough to like, I kind of want to look inside. You just kind of like adamantly hope that Marvel will find its way and get good again, and possibly. I did the random reading random panels thing for this one to evaluate, like saying like, yeah, okay, I kind of liked what I read, or it's interesting enough to look at further maybe. But I wish it all looked like that. That would be sick as hell. Okay, TMNT Journeys #8. I haven't read #7 or #8 yet. I gotta catch up on this because it's just weird. It's kind of like a vibe of, I want to be like purified away from all the dark shit when I check this out, because it's like a really nice vibe. It is almost like the Saturday morning cartoons, but like for all these years later for the grown up. It's kind of good, man. It's kind of really good, kind of groovy so far, but again, I'm 2 issues behind. Okay, everybody's wondering about this Tigress Island, and here's the, wait, where is it? Here's the NSFW cover, or one of them anyway. When this was like solicited, I skipped out on #1 because I'm like, they're trying to, what am I, a sucker? Trying to market to my demographic of like sleazy middle-aged type dudes who are fans of like Chained Heat or Reform School Girls or Caged Heat 2000 and beyond or whatever. Dude, you ever a connoisseur of like, you need to be a connoisseur of women's prison movies? I know a guy who, we're gonna look at this shortly, but first story, I even knew a guy who had like a shelf of movies of like Betamax, VHS, laser discs of nunsploitation. He had like a whole section of that, like this local legend. And this kind of like does the same thing, man, where it's, you know, those old exploitation movies, almost like a Black Mama, White Mama or something, where you kind of watch it like as a hetero dude, you'd like, maybe you'd see it and be like, I want to like check that out. You get to see some skin, get to see some hair being pulled, some abusive kind of like evil alpha females. But then what happens is you kind of like end up rooting for them and seeing they actually have like individual characters and stuff. Like it's pretty good. This is pretty good, man. You're like rooting for them and you're like, oh no. Say even the innocent, the kind of like most innocent one, they're just like hot chicks that have been abducted from all over the world to be like to be on this like prison pleasure island for powerful people, I guess. And like they kind of, to like, they need to haze all the new abductees so that they'll like get in line and shit and just like break their spirits. And the most like innocent, nicest one, they like pick on her, shave her head over here. And it's like, fuck, man. There's some pretty good clever writing. Again, maybe it's just that I love that genre. This is staying pretty true and pretty good to it, of being like, okay, you get some catfights too, that it's not just like the exploitation. You do get the exploitation too, but you know, there's enough story and characterization there to keep it interesting, seems so far. So I'm gonna be sticking on board with these. I apologize. Look at this tone too. It's pretty well done. Yeah, they got me. They marketed to me. Okay, lastly from the floppies, Twilight Zone #6 by Nicole Gu. This was a touching story in the tradition of those kind of like sad like somber or melancholy, but like ultimately kind of warm and life affirming classic Twilight Zone stories. Say, like Kick the Can or something like that. Where or like what's the one where Robert Redford is deaf? Like there's some this one's pretty good, man. Like it's indie art of this chick who's like super depressed. Even her apartment and the nice cartooning and weird like speech bubble there of her depressed ass just flopping down that chair, and her friend trying to kind of save her, tell her at least like uh get some fresh air, takes her out for some fresh air, try to get into something like cooking for yourself healthy food, and use it like you can use this. It's almost like these modern home things where you get it sent to your house, meal kits. This is called Healthy Root. Today for a brighter tomorrow. And it kind of like helps her at least get the momentum from just being totally still and idle to start doing something. And there's this weird plant, and you can see it's almost shaped like a mandrake or something. And she's like, I guess I'll like plant this thing. Originally her friend is like, try to like have a kid or a pet, and she's like, I can't take the risk of subjecting like another sentient living thing to like my whims or whatever. But this root, it's cute. It like grows into this like weird little mutant baby thing. And I have some friends and family that recently have had kids or babies, and it's pretty wonderful. I gotta admit, I'm a cynical person, but this kind of, it seems like there's an analog for that, of like having this weird, beautiful thing to take care of, and it like making her totally forget her like the darkness in her life. It's like this bright light. So it's really cute. It's really cute. I don't know, is it really like heavy-handed? I don't think so. And again, the end, I don't want to ruin the ending. So, oh my gosh, that's almost so sad and heartbreaking. This is a good issue. They're not all like hitters for me of Twilight Zone, and it depends on your personal like taste and stuff. I guess there's like a little something for everyone. I did think this one was very good though. Nicole Gu, I would look for more from her. It was like really good writing and cartooning, both together. Okay. And now for something completely different. I got this because it's smut, but apparently it's actually like writing about dating and shit. That's too bad. I thought it would just be like some gratuity for me. Oh shit. That's what you want. Stefan Sige. Yeah, that's what we want. But there isn't like, it's mostly talking. So I don't know. But whose cheap is that? These are cheap. So. This is the first time in softcover, apparently. Death Ray by Daniel Close, originally printed in 8-ball. $22 American, so it was like 21 something for me after discount and tax. So pretty good. This is something we all did as kids, right? It's like when your friends try to make a free throw or a shot, you say penis or anything. Try to distract them. Good opening. And these opening pages too. I was like, oh yeah, it's been a real while since I've read any 8-ball. Like that's kind of back in the 2000s reading those. But I've seen all these where I haven't read this yet. This is a whole other thing. This is one of those things where you're going to read this like in an afternoon and then come out the other side just totally mutated. Your brain fried and whacked out. Speaking of which, lastly, for new releases was this Lone Wolf and Cub trade paperback volume 2. And you've heard me, you know what, let's fucking open this shit. Let's open it. I don't like this like random loose pieces of paper though. Japanese folks have a weird way of packaging their books. It's like, what the fuck? It's like not even, it's like stuck on one part. You folks from over Nippon. What the hell is this? I gotta read it the other way? Yeah, this the other way. Oh, cool. There's a glossary though. Hey, this weird piece. Oh, the new book smell. Hey, oh, I didn't know there's this kind of stuff in here. Fuck, I feel so... Years ago, there was, like, original Lone Wolf and Cub art that you could buy for, like, fucking $100 and shit of, like, Daigoro and stuff, like, old pages. That was back in the day when I didn't have a fucking $100 to spend on that shit, though, but... Goddamn, I wish I had back then. Now, it's probably, like, 10 times as much. Okay, but, you know what? May as well flip through this while we're talking. You've often heard me say in reviews, like, it's good, but it's not going to, like, change your religion. It's not going to change your life. This is the... Okay, the weird thing about this, I got to read... I'm still putting together the old singles, which is the wrong order and wrong and blah, blah, blah. But the shop owner is like, are you reading these? I'm like, I have to read those first. I'm like, have to have closure on that chapter of my life before I read these again. Because this is not, like, I can't just... A lot of the time I just want to read trash, you know? Like, it's almost like having some trashy thing on Netflix rather than Criterion while you're doing laundry or dishes or something, because you don't want to have to pay too much attention or be too moved by it. You just want to, like, go about your day. But I've said in a lot of reviews, like, okay, so-and-so is good enough. It's good, but it's not going to, like, change your life or anything. This is something that everybody should have. Like, to be honest, man, everybody should have this. And there's, like, it's like Bible-sized. I'm not saying it's like you got a gosh darn Bible, but it is one of those things where it would be like a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Like, it would, like, elevate your spirit, or I don't know, maybe that sounds cheesy, but it would, like, you can't just lightly read this and then you're gonna feel fucking mutated like a fucking Bushido warrior after this, man. On the road of Mefumado. So, you know, it's one of the best. I mean, if you haven't got this, like, duh. Any Lone Wolf Cub, I'm sure that anybody watching this channel already knows this, though you don't need me to say it. This is one of the best comic series of all time, probably. I mean, if I had to put on my comic collection to a 10th or even like a 5th, or 20th of what it was, 5%, I would still have to keep the Lone Wolf Cub, you know, and Akira and stuff too. So yeah, that'll do it. That's the last of these new releases and this new book smell. I'm too scared to open this because it's just like, you can't just fucking fuck around. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Chime in. Let me know about the side of the side of boards to put against your comics. Look at this, my 7-year-old niece drew this. Naruto. She freehanded it too. She didn't trace it. She's like, happy birthday. She made this card for me. That's so cute. That was just there, that's why I mentioned it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Happy hunting out there. Always nice to hear from you if you have anything to add. Nobody be all passive aggressive because you're mad about the backboard thing and like be like, well, he did that, so you know what, I'm gonna be mad at him about this other thing. We're not like that here, okay guys? Alright guys, lots of love. You can say any negative shit though too. It's fun to talk. Alright, cheers. See you in the next one.